Well, Bangladesh and India have sealed an historic land pact which will finally allow tens of thousands of people living in border enclaves to finally choose their nationality after decades of being in stateless limbo. The Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi and Bangladeshi Premier Sheikh Hasina looked on as officials of the two nations signed a raft of agreements, and India extended a $2 billion line of credit to Bangladesh in an effort to deepen bilateral ties. Pinakranjan Chakravarti is a former Indian High Commissioner to Bangladesh, and he joins us now. Thank you very much for your time tonight. What is so significant about this land boundary agreement?
Well, it's significant because this has been pending ever since India was partitioned in 1947. And since 1974, when the previous land boundary agreement was signed between Prime Minister Indira Gandhi and Prime Minister Sheikh Mujibur Rahman then, it could not be implemented for a variety of reasons. On the Indian side, it was a constitutional amendment was required to push through this agreement, because any exchange of land, change in land boundary, requires a constitutional amendment in India. Now, finally, when after the elections of 2008 in Bangladesh, things began to move again, and that is today you see the result of that. So really, it's not the land boundary, a new land boundary agreement. It's the old land boundary agreement, which has now been tweaked with an additional protocol by changing some parts of the border so that the countries can hand over to each other some of these little bits and pieces of land, really in acres that existed, and which was causing problems because of people, livelihood, smuggling, criminal activity along the border.
And how by changing those borders will that perhaps impact that kind of human trafficking, that kind of behaviour?
Well, what happened was that earlier the law enforcement agencies of one country could not get into the enclave of the other because there was no jurisdiction. So there were legal problems. Now those problems will be set aside. They will be integrated with the land of each country, and they will come under normal laws and regulations and cannot become a haven for any criminal activity or human trafficking, people who do the mafia that does all these things.
Is this a testament to Modi's political deafness?
I think it is a testament to two things. That first of all, he had a majority in parliament after almost 36 years in India. So there was a one-party government, although it's an alliance. And secondly, I think there was a recognition within India and a consensus that this agreement, it's high time that we deliver on these agreements and some other agreements as well. Because Bangladesh, over the last 7 years under Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina, has been very cooperative. She has shown great vision in pushing forward cooperation. She has given assurances on security. We have cooperated on counter-terrorism. She has dealt with Islamic and other radicals in her country, and as well as provided economic and other avenues for increasing trade. So I think we owed it to them to actually implement this agreement and go through with the processes that were required to do.
And indeed, it not only has this been this land change as well, but of course a number of other deals and this very extensive loan to Bangladesh. So it looks like there is a lot of cooperation going forward planned.
Well, there have been actually 22 agreements. Some of them are routine renewal of certain agreements like waterways, the transit through waterways or the trade agreement. But there are some new agreements as well, which is like setting up of a special economic zone for Indian industries who could set up factories in Bangladesh to manufacture there. One of the problems that Bangladesh and India have had is a very adverse trade imbalance that Bangladesh has to. Bangladesh exports about $600 million, whereas Indian exports to Bangladesh actually exceeds about $6 billion. But people say, and there are guesstimates, that the overall trade is probably over $12 billion if you include the informal trade across the porous borders. Now, Bangladesh has decided that it will set up some special economic zone to attract FDI from India and elsewhere, so that manufacturing and exports from Bangladesh would increase. Then there is this huge, humongous $2 billion credit which will help in integrating some of the railway systems that we have had which have been sundered since about 65. Now, railways and waterways and roads, these will be connected. They will provide the arteries of trade and communication. The new bus services have been started, which will help the people traveling up and down. India provides more than 500,000 visas to Bangladesh to come for a variety of reasons: tourism, medical treatment, and education, and a whole host of other things. So this is the kind of relationship we are trying to establish. And we are also thinking of other avenues, how to deal with the illegal migrants that who come over across the border into India, apart from the human trafficking of women and children. I mean, these are all problems that we've had, and we continue to look at these problems and how to deal with them in a manner, in a humane manner, for example.
Well, it's good to see that those forward developments. Thank you very much for your time.
Thank you very much.